Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be doing a yoga flow with some core strength exercises. So let's start by bringing the arms over our heads. We can stretch a little to the left and to the right, just trying to lengthen our spine and create a little bit of movement. Now bring your arms down and sweep them in front and over your head and around. Let's repeat this twice. Then let's do some head rolls to the left. We're going to do this 3 times. And let's switch on over to our right. We'll do 3 times. Good job. So let's loosen up and warm up the shoulder area. Let's do these circular motions a few more times. And now reverse, we'll go forward. Good job. So let's move into a half split with our left leg stretched in front of us and have our right leg bent behind us. The more flexible you are, the more your back leg can straighten, but the more tight you are, the more you should bend the leg behind you. The goal is to be squared off with both sits bones touching the ground. You can adjust in order to make this happen, but definitely make sure that right hip is pulling down as much as possible. So let's take about, you can adjust. But let's take about 8 deep breaths here. You can bring your forehead on to your shin or knee. Okay, let's switch sides. We'll do right leg in front with the left leg bent. Again, adjust yourself in order to be squared off with both sits bones touching the ground. Make sure that left hip is pulling down. So come forward, forehead to knee, and we'll take about 8 deep breaths here. Alright, now let's open up our lower back and stretch the hamstrings by coming into a forward fold. Let's put our arms over heads and exhale and fold forward. Let's take some deep breaths here in this position. Now let's take our index and our middle fingers and hook them around our big toes to create more space. Pull yourself towards your toes. Breathe here for a few more breaths. Okay, so now we will start to work in our core strengthening exercises. So we'll come to our backs. Legs facing up towards the ceiling. We'll begin with pelvic lifts. Hold for 2 counts. And then we'll lower. Lift up again. Hold for 6 counts. lower. Now come up and we'll pulse the knees together for 8 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now come down. Now lift and lower 8 times. Good job. Now come to the balls of our feet, bring the left leg straight up and pulse here for 8 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now let's do the right leg straight up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come down. Now let's do a quick bridge pose. We'll hold this for about 2 8 counts. If you're not really ready for a bridge pose, you can do another type of back bend. Maybe a, what is it called? I'm totally forgetting. Wow. Okay, so let's bring your legs into a split while laying on your back. Now, bring your legs bent, facing up towards the ceiling, and we'll do some sit-ups and get the core warmed up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now we're going to alternate, reaching past each of our knees with the opposite arm. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we're going to do crisscrosses, lowering to the ground and bringing them back up to 90. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so now we are going to do crisscrossing, opposite knee to opposite elbow. Good job. We can come back into that split position and reach forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good job. So now we can twist on over to our right and to our left. Now we are going to do this type of sit-up where we come up as if we're holding a beach ball, go to the right, middle, left, center, down. Go center, left, center, right, and down. Center, right, center, left, center, down. Center, left, center, right, center, down. Center, right, center, left, center, and down. Center, left, center, right, center, down. Okay, so that felt good, I'm sure. So now my dog is wanting to say hi. That obviously got her kind of excited. So now we're going to do a little bit of a plow pose. So we can roll back into the plow pose. Support yourself by holding onto the lower part of your back. I'm going to show a couple different modifications. If you want to do something more than just be in the plow pose, you can bend your knees next to your ears. You can bring both legs up to do a supported headstand. Shoulder stand, I'm sorry. And then you can also alternate your legs, doing kind of like a split in the air. Or you could just simply stay in your plow pose, whatever you feel like doing. So let's do some rocking forward and back. We'll do this about 4 more times. Now let's come to all fours, and we're going to work a little bit into our glutes. We'll bring the left leg straight behind us and do leg lifts. We'll do about 8 times on the left and then switch to do 8 times on the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now right leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good job. Now let's come into a plank position, and we're going to lift the left leg up, hold. Now switch to the right leg, hold. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come up into a downward facing dog, raising high onto your toes, bending the knees and lowering the feet, and then straighten the knees. Then holding down dog for just a few breaths. Now bend the right leg and then the left. Holding down dog. Then bend the knees and straighten. Now we'll come into we'll do some push-ups. You're welcome to bend the knees or keep them straight. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now come into child's pose, and we'll hold this for just a few breaths. Maya was getting into something. My dog. So bring the right leg forward into a lunge position and then come to face front. Plie, arms overhead. Plie, center. Bring your feet high up on the arches, and we're going to pulse here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we'll go left leg high up, pulse for 8, and the right. Now center, 8 more counts. Stay up on the high of the arches and come up to straight legs. And lower the feet slowly and bend deeply, pushing out that left knee with the left hand. Breathe here. Now to the right. Now come to a forward fold and do mini cat-cows, opening up the upper back. Now bend deeply and turn the feet out and straighten them, turning the feet back to parallel. Now bend the legs, leaning to the left and then to the right, and then again. Now roll up, bring arms overhead, and then we will do some flat back exercises on over to the right a couple of times. And then move to the left to do 3 more flat backs to come up. Two and 3. Now let's stretch on over to our right. Then to the left. And we'll pulse here a couple times to our left. 1, 2, 3. To the right. 1, 2, 3. To the left. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Now come out into a T, and we'll begin to fold forward with a flat back. And then grab the backs of your ankles and shake out yes, shake out no. Bend the left, bend the right, the left and right. Hold on over to your right. Now to the left, hold on. And then bend right and left. And now let's shimmy the hips side to side as you come back up to a vertical position, bringing arms overhead. Let's do some head rolls over to the left. 2, 3, 4, and 5. To the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now bring feet together and arms overhead. Arms overhead and forward fold. Hands to the ground and bend the knees and straighten. Come up to elevate, plie all the way down to stretch the feet and the arches and hold for about 2 to 3 counts. Then come back up to straight legs. Still high onto the balls of the feet, then lower them to the ground. Now start to plie while keeping the whole foot on the ground to stretch the Achilles tendons. It's okay if your heels come off the ground some. Just take a couple of deep breaths here. Now come back to standing with the feet about a hand's distance apart from one another. Bend and straighten, then bend deeply into a sort of frog position. Now try to rock the knees forward and back a couple of times to come to a seated position. Place hands behind you. Encircle the rib cage a couple of times to the right. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, then to the left, 3, 4, and right, and left. Now let's come into a pigeon pose. Left leg bent, right leg straight behind us. We'll take about 8 deep breaths here. Come up. Now switch legs. We'll have right leg bent, left leg straight. And let's take about 8 deep breaths here as well. Okay, so let's start to come up into a lunge position with the left leg forward, and we'll begin to open up the hips and stretch the hamstrings. So we'll do this rocking motion forward and back a couple of times, and we're going to start working into our front splits. But you can hold in this position more so if this is where you're tight, or you can keep doing the forward and back motion, whatever you feel you need today. So let's start to inch our way into our front split. You can bring your forehead to your knees if that's comfortable, but definitely try to square your hips off as much as possible. Breathe here. You can also do this little mini high release. Let's come back up and switch legs. So right goes into the lunge, and we'll do those rocking motions again on this side. Now let's start to move into our front split on our right leg now. And hold here for a few breaths. Don't forget to breathe. All right, let's come out of this and make our way to a seated position, bringing our feet to touch. Hold on to your ankles, lift the chest forward, and then round the spine. We'll repeat this about 7 times. So let's bring our legs into a wide-legged straddle position. Make sure your knees and toes are facing up towards the ceiling, and then walk your hands forward. You can rest your forehead to the floor. Take about 8 deep breaths here. Let's bring our hands back, reach over to your left, and then sweep over to your right. Let's do this sweeping motion a few times. Left and right, left and right, left and right. And now we will work into our middle splits. If you have a block, you can place it under your sits bones and then roll forward onto it to open up your hands more gently. If you don't have one, no worries, just allow gravity to work its magic. We'll be here for about a minute. As you can see, I'm doing a little bit of rocking forward and back, listening to what my body needs. Middle splits are no joke, and if you are hovering over the ground, I also recommend to kind of, figure out where the tightest spot is for you and then hold in that position. Definitely remember to breathe. Okay, so now we can take the block away, or you can keep it if you need. Let's bring our right ear to the floor. And left ear. You guys are doing amazing. Just stick with doing splits as often as you can. I would recommend practicing splits about 4 to 5 times a week if you want to see results. So let's roll out of this. Gently bring your legs back in closer together and bend the knees in front of you. We can let the legs fall over to your right and over to your left, to the right and left, right and left. Let's shake out the legs, do some wiggles. We can do some circular motions with the spine if that feels good. But let's bring our legs in a cross-legged position. Like I said, you can do some circular motions here, whatever wiggles you feel like you need to do. You can bring the elbows to the ground for a moment. But just thank yourself for this practice and for strengthening your body. I know that my practice wasn't easy today, but I do think that if you do it regularly, you'll see results. So it's inhale, arms overhead. Exhale. Inhale, arms overhead, thanking yourself. Exhale. Inhale, last deep breath. Thank yourself for all the hard work you've done. I know it's not easy, but you did a wonderful job. So thank you and namaste. See you guys in my next video. Thank you. Mwah.